And with this route I'm going to show you, you will be able to get 7 out of the 10 Plunder Skulls in under an hour. Hello everybody, Rogue Fox here, and welcome back to another Elder Scrolls online video. The Witches Festival event just started yesterday, October 23rd, and it will be running for 2 weeks, giving us until Wednesday, November 5th to try to do and collect as many things as possible for this event. So with events, of course, there are rewards to earn and also tickets, but for this video, what I would like to do is focus on the rewards and how you can try to get the most amount as possible in the least amount of time. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into this video. To get things started, let's go ahead and go over all of the Plunder Skulls that we can earn for the day. And that's going to be represented by these yellow gold ones that you see right here. So if we do the first, I guess you can say, encounter of these for the day, you will end up with a golden or yellow Plunder Skull. And then if you do any extras after that, for example, let's say you go into the first delve of the day, kill the delve boss, you will get one of these Plunder Skulls. But if you go into a second delve and kill the delve boss, you will just end up with a regular Plunder Skull like you see right here. Now, you will still get good things out of this. I did get a few recipes out of these Plunder Skulls, but of course, all of the good stuff is going to come out of these Plunder Skulls that you see here. And like I mentioned, the point of this video is to help you try to get as many of these as possible a day in the least amount of time. So with that, let's go ahead and quickly go over these Plunder Skulls that we can earn. So if we do our first arena for the day, we will get the arena one. For the Crowborne Horror, that is going to be one of the bosses in Olive's Brewery. Next, as I just mentioned, we have the Delve Boss. So your first Delve Boss for the day will get you this skull. Next is going to be the dungeon. So the first dungeon that you run for the day, and after you kill the final dungeon boss is how you get this one. You will get this skull. However, if you kill all the other bosses leading up to it, you will get these purple Plunder Skulls. So these will kind of stack up as you do a dungeon, which is very nice. Next, we have Incursions, so that would be things like the dolmens, siege walls, and other things like that. Next is the Infinite Archive, so if you complete one entire cycle, so you go through the 5 stages and complete a cycle, then you will get one of these Infinite Archive skulls. Lord Hollowjack, that is the main boss of this event, which is also found in Olive's Brewery. And heads up, if you haven't done it yet, you will need a group to do this, so just keep that in mind. Public and Sweeper, so if you go into any public dungeon and kill any public dungeon boss, this will drop. Trial, of course, once you complete a trial, it will drop as the final loot from the boss, so you'll get that there. And then for the world boss, your first world boss for the day, anywhere you go, will drop this skull here. One way that you can track the skulls that you have, or the ones that you can get, is to go over to your achievements, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go over to achievements, we're going to open up holiday events right here. Go to Witches Festival, and then with this achievement, the Plundered Masses, we can open this up, and we have a bit of a checklist here. It doesn't have all of them, but most of them. So we have Arena, Incursions, Delve, Dungeon, Public and Sweeper, Trial, World, and regular Plunder Skulls. And then this is how I actually found out about the Infinite Archive one, is this one right here, Infinite Plunderer. Acquire the Infinite Archive Dremora Plunder Skull during the Witches Festival. So that is 8 of them. And then the other 2 come from the bosses, like I mentioned earlier, so Hollowjack and the Crowborne Horror. Now that we know that there are 10 Plunder Skulls that we can earn each day, and if there are any others, please let me know down in the comment section below. I would like to get more than 10 if possible, but I will show you the route that I took this morning, and with this route I'm going to show you, you will be able to get 7 out of the 10 Plunder Skulls in under an hour. And I say 7 out of the 10 because remember, some of them are the Infinite Archive, Trials, and arenas, and maybe you just don't have the time to do it. You just want to log on, get your daily writs done, run the event real quick, do your writhing wall, or maybe you just don't have a character level up enough to do trials or arenas or something like that. Whatever it may be, I will show you how to get at least 7 of the 10 of them. So let me show you what I did. For me, I will be starting in Ardon because this is the alliance I'm a part of and the area I'm most familiar with. If you're in any of the other alliances, you can find the Witches Coven here in Glenumbra right at the top. Or if you're in Ebonheart, you can go to Stonefalls, and it will be right here at the bottom. But for me, I will be starting my day in Ardon, and I will put it out there, this is assuming that you have already done the Hollowjack quest at least once, and by that I mean you do the quest where you go to the 3 different points across Tamriel and fight Hollowjack for the first time. So after you've done that, this is where you can bring in this routine, and it'll be very, very easy. So like I mentioned, I'll start here. I'll go to the Witch's Coven, and I will get the Hollowjack quest by talking to the priest. And because I've already done the quest, he will open the portal right up, and I can just hop right into the portal to fight Hollowjack. And like I mentioned, you will need a group, but that's totally fine because everyone else will be looking for a group as well, so that should be very quick. So after you fight Hollowjack, you will get your Hollowjack Plunder Skull for the day, so that's 1 of 7. And then after that, I will go talk to the Witch Mother across the way and get my Crowborne Horror quest. And of course, for that, we are going to need feathers, and to get feathers, we are going to need Plunder Skulls. Because of that, what I'll do next is go back to the Way Shrine here. I will fast travel to Banished Cells 1. Banished Cells 1 is a very easy dungeon, and it can be soloed. And the nice part about doing this, as I mentioned earlier, is when you fight all of the other bosses leading up to the final boss, you can pick up purple Plunder Skulls along the way, which of course will drop feathers, so that will be easy to collect. And once we defeat the final boss here, we will get our dungeon Plunder Skull for the day, giving us 2 of the 7 Plunder Skulls that we need. After I do the dungeon, I look for an active dolmen, so in this case, this one is active, so I can travel to that one, or I can wait for this one because it's closer, so I'll go do a dolmen after that, and then the Plunder Skull for the Incursions will drop from the boss, not the chest that you get at the end, but the final boss at the end, so you can loot the Plunder Skull off of the boss there, and then with that, we have 3 of the 7 Plunder Skulls. After I do the dolmen, I head down here to Nest Mother's Den and fight the snake there. It can be soloed, but if you have a group, you can do it as a group as well. But I went down there and took care of the Nest Mother's Den boss, so that gave me 4 of my 7 Plunder Skulls. And then after I finished the world boss, I went down to the delve right here. And of course, depending on the time of day, there can be a lot of people in there or very little. So be prepared to wait around if you need to. The bosses spawn about every 5 minutes. So yeah, if it's a busy day, there will most likely be people standing around farming the boss. So do keep that in mind. It can be frustrating, but it's just something that happens. But after we do that, we have collected 5 of the 7 skulls for the day. After I finished the delve, I went down to the public dungeon right here at Tooth Mall Gully, and it's any boss that you find, at least in my experience. So what I did, it wasn't even the main boss. I went into the entrance, I went down the first cave to the right, I fought the boss that was down that cave, and then got a skull off of that boss. So again, wasn't the main boss. I'm assuming it's just any boss that you find within the public dungeon that will drop the skull. So with that, we now have 6 of the 7 Plunder Skulls that we can get. At this point, we can go ahead and start opening all of our Plunder Skulls, and we should definitely get the 30 feathers we need to make the effigy for the Crowborne Horror boss. So once you've got all those feathers together, you go back to the Witch's Coven, you do the steps inside of the coven to get your effigy to get ready for the portal. The portal will open up, you can step in and fight the Crowborne Horror boss, and after you complete that, you will get your last Plunder Skull, giving us 7 Plunder Skulls for the day. And that will bring us to the end of today's video. Just to recap, the Witches Festival event just started yesterday, October 23rd, and it will be running for 2 weeks, and it will end on Wednesday, November 5th. So hopefully this video will help you get as many Plunder Skulls as possible in that amount of time. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel and is very much appreciated. But with that being said, everyone, this is going to be the end of today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed. This has been Rogue Fox, and I will see you in the next one.